All right, let's just get right into it. We all know Ryan Reynolds. You know, Hollywood A-lister, the super witty, fourth wall-breaking star of Deadpool. But lately, he's pulled off the second act that, honestly, is maybe even more impressive. He's transformed himself from a movie star into a legit business mogul. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain and break down the playbook he used to make it all happen.
And it really all comes back to this number, $1.35 billion. That's how much T-Mobile paid for Mint Mobile, a company Ryan Reynolds had a huge piece of. That's a number that makes you just stop and think, right? It makes you ask,
Exactly. How did the guy from Van Wilder, of all people, end up orchestrating these massive billion-dollar deals and pretty much rewriting the rulebook for celebrity entrepreneurs? To really get that, we've got to rewind a bit and look at where this all started.
So, let's get into it. Section 1, From Actor to Mogul, the origin story of a different ambition. Because this wasn't just about a famous guy slapping his name on a product. Nope, this was about a total shift in what he wanted his career to be.
Think about it. By 2016, Reynolds was basically on top of the Hollywood mountain. Deadpool was this enormous global phenomenon that he had fought for years to get made. By any measure, he'd made it. Fame, money, family, he had it all. You'd think, okay, he's done. That's the peak. But, as it turns out, not even close.
what's so interesting is that the seeds for his business career were already being planted way back then. I mean, he wasn't just an actor on Deadpool. He was a producer, right in the trenches, fighting for creative control. He started his own company, Maximum Effort, so he could make things his way. He was looking at guys like George Clooney selling his tequila, or Dr. Dre with Beats headphones and thinking, hey, maybe I can do that too. He wanted to build something that would last, a legacy bigger than just the movies he was in.
And that ambition led him right to his first huge test. Which brings us to Section 2, the aviation gambit, crossing the threshold into entrepreneurship. This was really the moment he stepped off the movie set and walked into the boardroom for real.
So in 2018, he gets a stake in Aviation Gin. And listen, this is the key detail. He wasn't just some paid spokesperson. He didn't just become a celebrity face that could slap on a bottle. No way. He became an owner and the creative director. He was hands-on from the jump, diving headfirst into the super crowded market that's dominated by these giant corporations. So how in the world did he make this little gin brand pop? Well, he came up with this simple but kind of genius three-step method. First, take total creative control of the marketing. Second, pour his own authentic, self-deprecating humor into everything. And third, and this is the big one, learn to react at the speed of culture, something big, old-school brands are just terrible at. And this quote is just a perfect example of his whole vibe. His ads weren't these polished, slick corporate commercials. They were basically comedy sketches. He'd say stuff like this, making fun of himself, making fun of the whole celebrity booze thing. It was weird, it was hilarious, and it got people talking. But this was his masterstroke. You remember that Peloton ad, right? The one that blew up online and caused this huge controversy? Well, within 36 hours, that's insane, Reynolds and his team found the actress, wrote a whole new ad, shot it, and released it. It showed her drinking aviation gin to get over it. It went completely viral, got them millions in free press, and basically proved he was a marketing genius. This was the moment everyone sat up and went, whoa, okay, this guy is playing a different game.
So with that huge win under his belt, you'd think you'd take a break, right? Nope, he doubled down. He moved on to Section 3, building the marketing empire, from gin to a global brand portfolio. He took that exact same formula and just started applying it everywhere. I mean, just look at how fast he moved. Gin in 2018. The very next year, he's in the phone business with Mint Mobile. A year after that, he's buying a Welsh soccer team. And by 2021, his own marketing agency gets bought up. It's not just the speed that's incredible, it's the range. It's wild. And for every single venture, he used these brilliant, totally unconventional tactics. For Mint Mobile, instead of dropping millions on a Super Bowl TV ad, he took out a full-page ad in the newspaper saying they were just going to give the savings to their customers. Genius. For Wrexham, he and Rob McElhenney didn't just buy a team, they created a hit documentary series, turning this struggling little club into this global underdog story everyone was rooting for. So, you gotta ask, right? Did all this crazy, unconventional thinking actually, pay off? Well, that brings us to the big finale. Section 4, the billion-dollar payoffs, the ultimate reward for unconventional thinking. This is where the story gets really good. First up, aviation gin. Just 2 years after he got involved, the booze giant Diageo bought the brand in a deal worth up to $610 million. I mean, what a huge validation of his strategy, and a massive, massive payday.
But it wasn't just about the money. The Wrexham win was a whole different kind of payoff. In 2023, the team finally got promoted after 15 long years. It was this incredible sports moment, a huge victory for the town, and it proved that their bet on the power of storytelling totally worked. This was a heart and soul kind of win.
And then, the big one. The number that started this whole conversation. In March 2023, T-Mobile bought Mint Mobile for up to $1.35 billion. And that, right there, is what cemented his status as a true business titan.
When you see the numbers side by side like this, it just hits you. These aren't just little wins. These are absolute blockbuster deals, adding up to nearly $2 billion in value. And it was all driven by this totally new way of thinking about how you build a brand.
So, what's the big takeaway here? What does all this mean? This journey wasn't just about one guy getting super rich. It's bigger than that. It's about Section 5, rewriting the celebrity playbook. How one actor changed the game for pretty much everyone.
Okay, look at this. The difference between the old way and the Reynolds playbook is it's like night and day. The old way was you're a passive endorser. You show up for a slick corporate ad that was planned months ago, and you're just there to sell a product. His way, he's a hands-on owner. He uses authentic humor and ads that are fast and react to what's happening right now. And he isn't just selling a product, he's telling a great story.
So what is the secret sauce here? The Reynolds formula is really about turning business into entertainment. He gets that in today's world, you can't just shout ads at people. You have to entertain them. You don't just sell a phone plan or a bottle of gin. You build a story that people actually want to be a part of.
And what's so wild when you think about it is that his success wasn't some huge departure from his Hollywood career. It was really an extension of it. He proved that the skills that make you a great actor, creativity, being able to adapt, and knowing how to connect with an audience, are the exact same skills that can make you a phenomenal businessman.
In the end, he didn't just change his own script. Going from actor to entrepreneur, he completely tore up the whole playbook for how celebrity and business can work together in the 21st century. And that leaves us with one final, really interesting question. Who's going to be next?